Just.
Yep.
Right.
Hello, guys. My name is Ricky Perez, and I'm glad you guys have chosen me as your mediator for this issue. I am a neutral third party in this issue, and at the end of the day, I am not going to be making any solutions or have any investment in what happens afterwards. But I hope you guys will come to a solution, and I will be here to help you with that. I've been mediating for 5 years, and I was trained by another trained mediator. And during this session, we may have a caucus, which a caucus is where I'll ask one party to step outside and talk with the other party. Whatever will be said in this caucus will be held confidential unless otherwise asked for by the party, and then I will talk with the other party afterwards. If you are in need of refreshments, right outside and to the left there's a vending machine, and right across from there is restrooms. If both parties are getting confused or need a minute to take a break, we can take a recess. And I'm happy you guys chose to be here again, and I believe you made the right choice in choosing mediation. So I would like the parties to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with you.
Name's Patrick Finnerty, one of the lawmakers, trying to put a ban on red light cameras.
Okay. I'm Kyle O'Keefe. I'm a representative for Rahm Emanuel, and I believe that the cameras should stay because they have been helpful, and I'm willing to work to try to come to an agreement with this.
So let's start with you, Patrick. So before this, how about we set some guidelines down? Would you have any suggestions for these guidelines?
No yelling, no interruptions,
Appropriate language.
appropriate language.
And is that all?
Should you think of anything else, Mr. O'Keefe? Be professional.
Yeah, I think that covers it. Professionalism.
No giggling, aka.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
Anything else? That's it? You guys are
That
I
good?
covers
think
it.
that's it.
Okay, so let's start with let's just say exactly what you want. You said before that you
I
wanted-
just want a complete ban on the, sorry, 1 second. Just want a complete ban on the cameras. They have caused crashes due to it, which is very time consuming to wait for the police, etc. That's pretty much all we want is to ban them.
Alright, I believe, or I want the red light cameras to stay in place. I feel as though they have, helped make the streets safer. There is a study that shows the, T-bone crashes in these intersections has gone down by at least 20%. Also, the law violations have been more under control with these, cameras in place. And I think it just like overall it keeps people responsible and accountable for the way that they drive, because even though there may not be a cop around, they still have to follow the rules.
So, let's talk about safety here, because you both brought up points about safety. And is that fine with you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Although you say there have been a 20% decrease in T-bone crashes, there's also an increase in rear end crashes, because people like to, when there's a yellow light, speed through it, but with these cameras, if you need a ticket, they slam on the brakes, and then that's just costing them more money to fix their rear ends or whatever, or for the other party who they got fixed their headlights and everything.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense, but I feel like the rear end crashes have gone up, but the T-bones in the intersection from people trying to speed through, those have gone down, so I feel like I don't know if it's more on people driving safer, like, I feel like there's like an adjustment period to try to get used to these red light cameras, so, even though these rear end crashes are happening, I also think it is positive that these T-bone crashes are going down.
Either way, though, a crash is a crash. It's not safe. It's because of these cameras that the rear ends are going up.
It's because of these cameras that the T-bones are going down.
But at the same time, you're still increasing crashes.
So, what I'm hearing is that both of you guys are concerned about the crashes that are occurring.
Yes.
Is there any possible thing that you guys can think of that could help stop the way that these crashes are happening?
Take them out.
I mean, clearly that's one viewpoint, and your other viewpoint is to keep them in.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, maybe there's some sort of something you can implement that might give them a clear time.
Yeah, I feel like I understand, and it makes sense that these rear ends have gone up because people are slamming on their brakes. So I don't know if we could put like warning signs up or something, just to like make people aware that there is a red light camera coming up, and kind of like slow down, or even like slow down the speed limit closer to the intersection, something like that.
Yeah, slowing down the speed limit, especially when you're going down like Michigan Avenue and LaSalle Street and all that, could definitely use to be a little lower.
Okay.
As far as, what was the other thing you said?
Some sort of warning.
Like warning signs that.
I feel sometimes the lights are just too close to each other to be able, because if you put them 200 feet out, I mean, there's a light another 200 feet after that one.
Right.
So you're pretty much telling them to slow down right there at the light with the warning signs.
Okay.
I do agree, though, you do have to do it earlier than where they are at now, because they're pretty much right at the intersection saying, here are the cameras.
Right. So.
I mean, that's just going to be tough to do
Right.
when you go down like Ohio or somewhere.
Well, could we come to some kind of an agreement on at least the kind of like lowering the speed limits?
No, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
So I'm hearing that lowering speed limits will help increase the safety.
I think so.
Okay.
Because maybe the crashes wouldn't be as bad, the accidents wouldn't be as bad
Oh, yeah, I don't
and
know.
as damaging.
People shouldn't have to slam on their brakes and stop as fast if they're moving slower.
Now, you were saying that the problem with these rear end crashes is because people don't know when these yellow lights are going to come up, right?
Right.
Right.
So, that's fine. Maybe you guys can think about implementing some sort of way that people will know when these lights will pop up.
I have a quick question for you, City.
Yeah.
Do you, I notice in suburbs they have the countdown, per se,
Yeah.
of when it's gonna, do you guys have that in the city? I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I think one way to do that is maybe not necessarily putting a warning sign earlier, is having a countdown instead of just a blinking
Right.
pedestrian. Have it started at 20 for when it's gonna turn yellow, because I know when I stop, when I decide if I'm gonna go or not at yellow light, it depends on how much time is left.
Right. Actually, I feel like that is something that could be put into place that would be helpful, and it would probably take away from some of the, or at least people having to slam on their brakes, because I mean, they're gonna know either they're gonna make it through or they're gonna slow down.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like we can do that.
Okay, so I don't know how you state that or put that up there.
So what I'm hearing from the party is that they would want more pedestrian crossing timers, are
Yes. Yes.
they? Okay.
Or were you saying like timers up on the lights that are gonna tell the
You know-
drivers? Like by.
Well, because usually the yellow light goes with when the pedestrians cross the street,
Yeah,
how much time is left.
right.
So that's what I'm talking
But
about.
how would the drivers see that?
Because it's blinking on and off.
Okay.
On the, because,
You're not talking, because like I'm thinking of the ones that are like on the actual like the corners, so the pedestrians know if they can go or
yeah,
not.
but I mean, if
Put one
the
up.
pedestrians see it, the drivers can see it too. It's not like the cameras are like down on the sidewalk. If you have to, move it up a little bit, move the warning signs up a little bit, so that the drivers can see it, or put it on the
Don't-
opposite side.
Yeah, because like if you're driving this way, right, and the
The light.
post is right here,
Yeah.
it faces this way, like towards the pedestrians walking. You know what I mean? So like as a driver, you'd have to like look over.
No, if I'm driving this way, and the light's green, the pedestrians are walking the same direction.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
And that sets the I mean, because you're not gonna have green light going this way, but a green light for a pedestrian going that way. Because then you're
We don't want
either
that.
gonna go you're either gonna go nowhere, or you're gonna increase stats by about 95%.
Okay. So I understand that now. So then if they already have those in place though, do they?
I'm not sure if they have them in the city.
At all. Okay.
I don't think they do.
Okay.
I think that's a way that you can decrease rear ends.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I agree.
So
Okay.
you're willing to put pedestrian cross timers on your streets then?
Yeah. Yes.
This month.
Oh, one other thing I do think we need to, or want, is more consistency with, the timing of going through a yellow light.
Okay.
And also refunds. Sorry about that.
No, that's good.
Refunds for.
For
Tickets?
citations that should not be given out.
Okay. So you just want to talk about the consistency of yellow lights then?
Yeah. Are we good safety wise?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to that, yellow light times and 77,000 citations were below the federal minimum, but yet they would not give drivers any refunds in the
Wait.
gains.
Say that again. Sorry.
When it comes to yellow lights, I think they just need more consistency, because there's times when they're more than halfway through is which you're allowed to do. As long as they're halfway through, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you have citations that are not consistent with that, and they're not doing refunds. It's pretty much just, hey, let's make more city for more money for the city. There are wild spikes in tickets at intersections around the city that unfairly tagged tens of thousands of motorists. There was an apology, but no refund. So if you're gonna ticket that's unfairly tagged, you should refund them.
Okay. So I mean, I agree that if people are getting unfairly ticketed, then there should be refunds, but how do you, would that be, I mean, are you proposing we do like you can like appeal their tickets or whatever, or do you want?
Or when the when the camera goes off, if the pedestrian that gets that ticket, if it shows that they're pretty much through the light already and they're getting ticketed, they should be able to bring it into a court and get refunded
Okay.
if they paid the ticket.
Okay, so you then, that will be the responsibility of the driver to
And
actually
kind of
appeal.
the city, yeah, but also the city because the city has to look at the picture first.
Right.
So I think the city should be more careful with when they send them out, how they send them out.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I just didn't know how to word that.
Yeah, no. So I guess, like, are you asking for, like,
More than just an apology. I'm asking for everybody that, I'm asking for the city to be more aware of the timing of the ticket
moving forward?
moving forward.
Okay.
Not now, yeah,
So
it's.
the refunds are.
Right now,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, but from this moment on.
Yeah, no, I feel like that is, something that would be fair for the,
I mean, because let's be honest, all the red light cameras are is just to earn you guys money as a city. It's not our fault that Mayor Daley decided to put in millions and millions for the Olympics and then just get shut out the first round. And that's why we're in this mess.
please don't talk about my city like that. Okay, then let's, I mean, how do you want us to go? Like, do you want like some like extra, like an extra person like screening all these tickets before
Yeah,
they go out?
absolutely.
Making sure.
100%.
Okay, I mean, I feel like that could be done, but I also, I mean, I guess we do have to set like a specific rule of like when
When the car crosses the
yeah,
street.
because I mean, you could say like halfway, and like, are we gonna like pull out a ruler and like try to measure? and see?
Absolutely, 100%. No, I'm kidding about that. No, you. I mean, I think it's visibly you should know if someone's gone through the yellow light at the right time or not. I don't think you need a ruler per se.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of how like, I guess how we're at.
I mean, if you have an intersection that's like this, here's the intersection, and you have a car that's here, I mean, that's halfway. If it's there, it's not halfway because the wheels aren't even past the solid white line yet.
Yeah.
But if you're here and you're getting tickets for being there, which is halfway,
So what
You
I'm
shouldn't
okay.
be
So what
giving
I'm
tickets.
hearing you say is that you feel that if they have a group of people who look through these tickets, that they will be the ones to determine exactly. Like
Yeah.
they'll be the ones eyeing it, and and so that way you're pretty much saying he doesn't need to like make any sort of like rules or like special lines saying halfway or not.
no,
You're saying
that
that-
would be.
You're saying that the person, like the driver themselves, plus the group of people who oversee the new tickets, is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could put something in place to have a person literally screening, which I'm sure that we do right now, but I guess more,
Careful.
make sure, yeah, that they're well aware of what is a ticket and what's not a ticket. And so base it on that. But I also like, we can't take full responsibility for those going out. Like it could be like a judgment call, like it's pretty close to halfway. if the driver feels like they didn't deserve the ticket, then they can go and appeal it.
I agree with that.
I don't want like lawsuits going out about us giving out tickets when it could be a judgment call.
I agree, and that's where they set the appeal, not the judge decide.
Okay. Okay, so then, yeah, I mean, I'll agree to, more strict guidelines for, the person who is screening these tickets before they go out.
So what I'm hearing you guys coming to agreement is that you're gonna have stricter guidelines for these tickets, and you're gonna have more people screening them? Or is it the same amount of people?
An extra person, I think it's one,
Maybe an extra person, or, you know, sometimes maybe that person that's screening them just wants to get it out of the way. So be more careful with screening.
okay.
So,
So then it would, one extra person?
Yeah.
So like it goes through, because I know there's originally the person who
Right.
screens it and have it go to an extra person
Right.
okay.
before it goes out. So
Yeah.
there's two,
Yeah.
okay.
So the agreement is stricter. We'll always go stricter.
And after this, I would like to request a little quick recess.
Okay. Stricter. More people, more
Screeners.
Screeners. Okay, so you said you'd like a quick recess?
Yes, sir.
That'll
If
be fine then.
possible.
You guys can just wait out there, gather your minds, about 5 minutes.
We need this for that to be on camera.
Yeah, right.
Let's go. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So before we left, we had, let me just recap the agreements you made. Before we left, you made agreements on pedestrian timers on lights. You agreed that they're gonna have a stricter consistency of the yellow lights, and refunds when someone can argue refunds more if there's a issue in the way they cross the streets, let's say.
Unfair ticket.
Yeah, on an unfair ticket. Then stricter screening process of these tickets themselves, and more people screening them.
Correct.
So, those are the agreements made.
Yes.
They sound right. Okay, so
I think we should do stay in place next.
okay,
And
so
with that being what you wanted to talk about, I think you should start.
Okay. I feel as though right now with the amount of, or I guess how much more safe it's made the pedestrians and at least the crashes in these intersections, I feel as though it's necessary to have these cameras.
But how do you say that when some of the cameras have been put in areas where there's already pretty much no crashes before the installation? That's just giving you guys are just spending more money.
It also,
on that. You're supposed to be doing better than Mayor Daley.
I feel like it also, I mean, it's also like they're put in place for safety and.
But if
like,
there's
down
if
the
there's
road.
no if there's pretty much already no accidents there already, well, why would you even have them there?
To continue to prevent accidents.
But it's not continuing because you don't need them there because there's already no accidents.
I disagree. I feel as though these cameras are serving a purpose. They're keeping these drivers accountable for the way that they're driving.
I call for caucus.
yes. I'll just have you step out here. You can just take a seat anywhere over there. I'll get you when it's time. Okay, so what are you exactly getting at? Like,
Oh, all they're doing is wasting more money they already have to put red light cameras in spots where there's already no crashes, so basically they should take those out and put them in, focus more on where there are more crashes and not minimal crashes already.
Well, I mean, if
Or
that's
accidents, I should say.
if that's the case, the other side's still clearly worried about the safety of these pedestrians.
But it's already been safe.
Yeah, I
and
know,
it's
but,
already
like,
been proven.
Is there like anything you can think of like that'll eat? Like, obviously the red light cameras aren't really doing anything. Is there anything else you can think of to maybe ease his mind about the crashes there, or like maybe something that they could put in?
Not
It's
really.
not like a
There's-
red light camera, or just like some sort of warning or something.
I'd rather see a warning sign up. I mean, it's costing the city more money for having the red light cameras at spots that aren't needed.
Okay, so you're just saying if they take these out, they'll pay less money on the maintenance and the safety will be around the same.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have intersections that have fewer crashes before then, that have little to no crashes before the installation, focus more on streets that have it. You can easily take the red light camera out of that street, put it on a street has more accidents instead of spending money to put it up.
So you're saying that they can take the red light cameras from this street and maybe put them on like a
More dangerous.
more like dangerous or higher accident based street.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
okay. Anything else you'd like to?
Yeah.
So, you're good?
Yeah, I mean, as long as
Any questions that need to be cleared up? Remember, this will be confidential unless you specifically give me permission to tell the other party. Do you want to keep this confidential then?
I'm trying to think here for a second.
Okay.
No, you can tell when I told you. I'm
Okay.
good.
No qualms then?
Cool.
Okay. I'll lead you out then.
Thank you.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So the other party said I could disclose what he said to you.
Okay.
What he was saying currently was that he feels that you're losing more money keeping those red light cameras there than you are, like, if they weren't there in maintenance. So his idea is that he's willing to let you move these cameras to other intersections that are maybe more dangerous than these ones.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts so far?
I think there's a way we can come to an agreement about moving, I guess these cameras that are in non-busy intersections. I feel like there's, I think we can either take a few of those down to save money or also move some of them to, different, more busy intersections to, at least, just to make them more effective. And then I also think that with, some of these, changes that we're making, there is gonna be money, this money has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I feel if we're gonna make these safer for people, that we can take some of these out of the non-busy areas to save money to put into making the other ones, make it safer.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you you haven't brought up yet that you want to bring up now, or couldn't bring up and didn't want to bring up with the other party in there?
Well, yeah, I feel like he keeps, saying that these red light cameras are all about revenue for the city, but it's also important for him to know that a lot of this money from these red light cameras is going back into the city. So it's not, I mean, it could look bad that we're just trying to take money from people, but we're getting money for people breaking the law, and then we're putting it back in the city
Okay.
to help make things safer.
Is there anything else, or?
No, I think we can start
Okay.
talking about how we're gonna move these cameras and where.
Okay. So, is there any questions you have before we move forward with this?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. You're fine with me bringing the other party in?
Yes.
Also, before we go in, this will be confidential unless you want me to bring it up, or are you saying that you want me to bring up what you said and get back into this?
Yeah, I think everything that was said in here can be.
Okay.
Thank you,
Welcome
sir.
back.
Thank you. Sorry, I forgot to ask you earlier. Is it okay that I brought my water in?
Oh no, it's completely.
Promise I won't spill it.
Okay. So, it looks like both of you guys from these caucuses, both of you guys are willing for me to talk about what you said. You guys are both willing to make an agreement on moving these cameras around and getting them out of areas that don't have anything.
Okay.
And Mr. O'Keefe would like to mention that the reason that these cameras are earning revenue isn't just because they want money. He mentions that the money that they're earned from these tickets are going back into the city. And he says that he would just like that to be taken into consideration.
Okay.
So, with that being said,
It'll be in consideration.
Yeah.
I can promise.
Thank you.
yeah,
You're welcome, Mr. O'Keefe.
with that being said, you can talk about your idea on moving these cameras.
You want me to start?
Whichever.
Let's start.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, Mr. O'Keefe.
Go right ahead.
I think that there are probably more dangerous intersections that these red light cameras can be up in. So I think that you could, I'm sure you can remove them from the intersections that already have the red light cameras that were put up for pretty much no reason, considering there's already pretty much no crashes there.
Okay.
And you can just move them over to that intersection.
All right. I definitely feel that there are better intersections for us to put these cameras in. So something I was thinking of is we could go back and before these cameras were up and find these areas that weren't very dangerous that we did put the cameras in, and we can start removing some of those, and then looking at statistics to show I guess the highest or the most dangerous intersections that don't have the cameras, so we can just start switching them over. The other thing that I was we can stick to this issue. So yeah, do you feel like that would be a
Yeah,
productive way to go about that?
I'm okay with that.
Now, just bringing it up, who would be the one to be analyzing the statistics? Would it be someone from your side, or would it be someone from your side to determine whether it's appropriate for?
It'd be my side because we're the lawmakers and that's what we've been doing, and that's why we want to put a ban on the red lights.
Okay.
I definitely feel like somebody from my side should be involved in this.
I think we could all be professional enough to where we can have one representative from each side, or two, or more.
Okay. Yeah. Both parties have a say.
Yeah,
And-
both parties have a say.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so, but looking forward, if you make this agreement, what would you do about this if, let's say you take out a red light camera and the number of accidents increase afterwards?
In that,
Yeah, like, what,
I would be okay
That's
with
something
it.
you
I
probably
would
take into consideration.
I would be okay with the city if it shows consistently, and it's not just like one bad day, but it's showing consistent accidents. I would be okay with them putting another red light camera up on that intersection.
Okay, so yeah, so make it more like a, kind of an open thing, like if we need to
Right,
start adding them to different places.
right.
I get, could we come to an agreement, like, if, so like if the intersections are consistently showing an increase in accidents or something like that, then they go under consideration for another camera?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're okay with that.
So then basically, so we need to have somebody, I guess constantly monitoring, all these different areas to,
Yes,
okay,
and that's where that comes up in the screenings and all that stuff.
right,
And police reports, so actually more, the cops will be more of the decision than us, or you guys.
okay.
It's more of the CPD.
So you're saying that the CPD will be in charge of,
Now, I'm just saying when the CPD give their accidents report, when their accident reports, that's
Okay.
when you'll know if you need it more or
Right.
not.
okay. Okay, so I'm guessing that this is this the same team of the people who are the ones looking at it and removing the cameras, or is this gonna be like a separate team from the two of you?
Same thing.
Okay, so, then what I'm hearing from both of you guys on this agreement is that you're willing to have a team of people and have representatives from each side look at the statistics of the camera beforehand and what it's currently, and see if it's worth it to have it there and remove it and maybe move it to a more dangerous area.
Mm-hmm.
And if in case accidents do increase after a consistent rate, the same team after looking at the CPTs, would this be annually or would it be monthly incident reports? Cause
I'd have to say monthly.
you'd say after like.
I mean, if it's gotta be after a certain amount per month
Okay,
for it to happen. So if there's like a 3-month period where one intersection has increased accidents of 15%, then yeah, you should absolutely put them back
yeah,
in.
okay, so after a monthly period, you'll check, and if the accidents increase, you'll put the red light camera back.
Yeah,
And just a question, does this apply to all streets, or is this just streets previously with?
I personally think previously with.
Okay,
I agree with that, those streets that we originally thought should be
Right.
monitored, but we're gonna
Okay.
try it, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because you're not, I mean, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Sounds good.
okay. So, what would you guys like to bring up next then?
I think there's only one more.
Yeah.
That'd be banning the cameras.
Yeah, ban on cameras. Is there anything else you would like to bring up about that? Or is there any other issue that that hasn't been brought up yet?
I think we do need to discuss how, or at least, yeah, discuss how this money situation is gonna work for, because even though we are taking cameras out, we're gonna be putting them in other areas, so those cameras still need to be, they need maintenance and everything, and then, we do have, these timers going in, the, speed limit signs, and we need to do all that stuff.
Okay, so use the money from the false tickets.
What false tickets?
And tickets where people shouldn't have been ticketed.
No, there were no false tickets.
Yes, there were.
No.
There were wild spikes and tickets at intersections around the city that unfairly tagged tens of thousands of motorists. There
We
was an
agreed.
apology, but there was no refund on the city, so
No.
use that money that you did not refund them.
We agreed that we were gonna move past that, and we were gonna
No,
start
we
from this
agreed,
point.
we agreed from this point on
Yes.
that you would give refunds. So why not use the money that you're not giving refunds from now to do that?
That money's tied up in other projects going on.
Please, expand on that.
I would have to talk to, Mr. Rahm Emanuel first.
Would you guys like to have another caucus
No.
right now, or?
No, I do not need a caucus for this incident.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sound angry.
No, I'm not angry.
We could take a recess to clear your minds if you want.
Yes, could we please take a quick recess?
I'm okay with recess.
Okay.
I need to calm down.
Okay. Okay, we're live. Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Would you like me to discuss about the agreements made, or do you still have that good in your mind?
It's good right now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we're good.
So, where we left off was on you guys were discussing the money from the invalid tickets that they're keeping,
Yes.
and whether or not they should use that to pay for all these changes.
Yeah.
So that's where you two left
I'm in
off.
firm belief that they should.
Okay.
So,
During the recess, I had a conversation with the mayor,
Okay.
and we have crunched some numbers, and we have money from these tickets to pay for the upcoming, I guess, the improvements that we need to make,
Okay.
the signs,
That's all I asked.
okay.
So
Yes.
I'm in agreement with that.
Okay, so the city will cover those expenses.
Okay.
okay. So, what I'm hearing is an agreement that the city will cover the expenses using the money from previous invalid tickets.
That should not have been in the first place.
Perfect.
Okay. So, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about?
I think, I guess with continuing with the money issue, one thing that, the amounts that we're giving out on these tickets, cause right now, it seems as though there is a lot of second, third offenders who just aren't following the rules, and there are a lot of people who haven't had any issues with this, so I think, possibly increasing these, or increasing the prices for multiple time offenders will, I guess, make people think twice before they go flying through a red light.
My question of that is, you say that, do you think it'll cause more rear end crashes?
I don't think so. If we put these new improvements in place, that should be warning drivers when these, yellow lights are coming up. And if we have these slower speed limits, so the drivers should be moving slower, I don't think, that should affect the rear end crashes.
Okay, how much, I believe it's $100 for one ticket right now.
Yes.
What are you proposing for
I think we
the
continue,
offenders?
first time offenders, it stays 100.
Okay,
I also feel second time, it is reasonable to keep it at 100.
kinda just like a warning.
Yeah, yeah, you still get the first ticket and you gotta pay for it, and then if it happens again, you get another ticket, you gotta pay for it, and then going forward, I think there should be an increase at $100.
Now, are you going to, in a letter with the first one, state this?
Yeah, we can make an announcement about this rule, and then also with each ticket, first, second, whatever it is, there will be, we can add something in there that says your next ticket, $100, after that, it's an increase in $100.
So $100, so if you're a 5-time offender, it gets up to 400?
It would be, yeah, 3-time offenders, 200,
Okay, 4-time offender, 300.
300, so.
it goes up $100.
Goes up 100 every time.
A lot of money in my pockets.
I just feel that there needs to be something,
No, I would agree.
$100 might not mean something to, someone could fly through it 10 times.
Yeah, $100 for someone that drives like a Porsche
Right.
is nothing. Like Michael Jordan, $100 to him is $1 to me.
Right. So an increase, and it also, it would be, I think, a continued increase until we get to there is like a limit that we need to set.
It should be a 5-time, to be honest.
And then
And then
they're looking at like a suspended license.
Suspended license, or you have to go to court,
Okay.
and you need to hire an attorney for it.
Okay.
That's the only way I'll agree to that.
So we put that at 5.
Yeah,
5. Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you guys right now is you guys both agree that there should be a change in money for multiple time offenders, and so the first time offense is going to stay the same,
Mhm.
and the second time offense is your last warning,
Yeah.
but after that you keep receiving a $100 increase
An extra $100 increase.
until the fifth offense.
Yeah.
And at that fifth offense, you guys both agree that they will be either their license will be suspended, and or they have to go to court to.
The 6th offense.
On the sixth
On the
offense.
sixth.
After the fifth.
5.
Yes.
Okay, so on the 6th offense, then their license will be suspended, and they have to go to court. It's or they have to go to court.
I think it should be you have to
I-
go to court.
I think
The
so,
suspended license
because-
is just a possible outcome.
Okay.
of
No,
that.
I agree, because more than likely, if you get a suspended license, you're gonna hire an attorney.
Right.
Yeah. So
Because you're gonna want to try to rescind it.
So they have to hire an attorney or get a state-appointed one and go to court. And one of the outcomes is that they can have a suspended license. What are the other possible outcomes then?
Court supervision, and then a 7th time is definite suspension or jail time.
Okay.
Depending on how fast you're going to get through that light.
Right. No. Yeah. I think.
Because I do agree with you, because that could also, because people going through lights is a big safety issue already
Right. You're putting other people's.
at risk,
Yeah. So.
no matter if it's pedestrians or drivers.
Right. Okay. So the 6th offense then.
6th offense, you have to go to court, and it's a possible suspended license.
Okay.
7th offense is an automatic 6-month suspension.
Okay. And then you also could be looking at jail time. Okay. And then that.
Because all you're doing is breaking the law and you don't care.
Right. And so then, I guess all the what's the word I'm looking for? Like logistics of that is handled through the court system.
Right.
We don't need to.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I might have to go to court, you might not have to.
Fair enough.
Because someone might hire me.
Okay. Yeah. No. That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. So I take a little time to outline it here. There's a lot of there.
Get out of your way, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Ricky.
Mr. Perez. So, first time offender, same. First plus second. No. 100 plus after every offense. And after the 6th offense, is it?
The 6th offense is when you go to court. There's no ands, ifs, or buts.
Court with suspension or what was the other?
Possible. Court with possible suspension.
Okay.
7th time is a 6
Automatic
month, 6 month
suspension.
suspended license. And possible jail time.
then also, so like, these don't, I mean, there's no like restart period for these tickets, yeah, okay,
No restart.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe for like 5 years. But you don't say it to them. You don't verbalize it or put it in writing to them.
So you're saying after 5 years of no incidents, then?
We'll go 10. After 10 years of no incidents. But they don't know that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Because I know previously when I did a few DUI cases, it was after 10 years it's not on your record anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so, with that being said, is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss?
I think I'm good.
The ban on cameras has been covered.
Yes.
Stay in place, safety, consistency, refunds, it's all been talked about then?
Yeah.
The refunds, no refunds,
Uh,
from the past,
From the past.
Yeah.
Because that's going towards
just making sure
from
that,
your guys' mess up. It's going towards the lights and all that to fix anyways.
so, just a question, when do you guys plan to actually have all these things done by? All these replacements?
Yes, I would like to have a contract signed for this, sir.
okay. I mean, what are the dates that you're trying to get all this done? Is March 16th today,
30 days.
30 days? I don't think,
It's 65 degrees out. There's no reason
is
they shouldn't
65
be,
degrees out.
it's not like it's negative 50 or 15
but
like
we
it was
still
a month
have
ago.
to, we still have to do all of this, your people and my people, we still have to do this
Alright,
research.
2 months. I don't wanna wait till winter. Summer's coming around the corner.
90 days.
Alright, I'll agree to 90 days.
And that's to get these cameras down out of the unnecessary, or off, I guess off the unnecessary intersections and moved to, more dangerous intersections. And then also, that will be for the, what was it? The timers on the lights, and then also the change in speed limits. That comes from your side.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, so, you guys are writing that up, let me go over these agreements here. So, in the beginning, the first agreements we made were that, you will lower speed limits,
Please sign, sir.
you're gonna add pedestrian timers on lights,
Yes.
you are going to make sure the consistency of the yellow lights stay consistent. You're gonna have it so that there's a process to refund legitimate tickets. There's a stricter screening process now, and there's gonna be more people screening the actual ticket itself. You guys agreed that with the money that was previously not refunded from these invalid tickets, you're gonna use that money and set them towards the, all these improvements that you're making, so that'll pay for those. And then you went on and discussed moving these cameras around. You're gonna have both sides representatives get together and look at numbers and statistics and remove unnecessary cameras and put them in other areas that may be more dangerous. And by a monthly review after these are removed, you guys will look at the crash reports
Yeah.
Yeah.
and see if they go up, you'll bring them back within reason, and if not, they'll stay removed. And you also agreed that first and second time offenders of these tickets won't have to pay an increase in the ticket. The ticket price will stay the exact same. But afterwards, they'll have $100 increase, with being $200 the third offense, and so on until after their sixth offense, where they will go to court and face.
After their 5th offense.
After their fifth offense, they will face possible suspension of their license and or supervision.
Yes.
supervision, and after that offense, they'll, if they weren't suspended before, there will be automatic suspension and jail time.
Potential.
Possible.
Yeah, possible jail time. And that will be handled in the courts themselves.
Correct.
That will not be handled by either of your parties,
No.
except maybe
Yeah.
you.
Except maybe
But-
me.
Yeah, because you're a lawyer. But so, and you guys agreed that these will happen within 90 days. These improvements
Yeah.
and everything else. Does this sound good to you then?
Yes.
Any questions that you may have before this is?
No, sir.
No.
This, I'd like to thank you both, and I feel as though this was a good mediation, and I hope you the best with this lovely city.
Thank you.
Good luck getting those cameras up.
Yeah.